I exercise every day early morning. So by the time it comes around for the ones that are offered, I've already done a workout already.
Okay.
Because I do it like 5 or 6 in the morning.
Okay.
Um, so so I haven't really been able to participate in many of those. I think one,
Okay.
um, but I like what's being offered. Um,
Okay.
everything is everything is good. I just my schedule conflict, so it doesn't always allow me to participate in everything. But I'm doing it though.
Well, we
I'm
see
doing
you.
it.
So I mean, we're seeing your engagement. We're seeing the comments. We're seeing your sharing. So,
Like
um,
I did the cauliflower, like the cooking class. I did it last night, and I have to post it in the group
okay.
because I wasn't actually
Oh,
able to participate that particular night because I actually batch cook on the weekends. I meal prep, so I
Okay.
do it on Sundays, and so I make everything for the week on Sunday evening. So
yeah.
Well,
That's cool. And I would love to hear your response to it. And I'm glad you tried it.
and we would still love for you to join us because I'm glad that you brought that up because what we think, and this is just what we think, right? Maya and myself, and our leadership team, we think the real essence of this companion is for us to be able to get to know you all and spend time with you. So that's while we're exercising, we get a chance to engage with each other and like stop and share, you know, and kind of build that rapport when we're cooking together. Even though you've already cooked, um, it's still an opportunity for us to kind of have that bonding moments, and then you're going to have questions, you're going to have suggestions, you're going to have things that you're going to bring that we might not even know. So we're your companion, but I'm your companion, you're my companion. So that's kind of how this whole system works. There's going to be things that you're going to teach us or that we're going to learn from you. And there's going to be things that you're going to learn from us. There's going to be something we're going to learn from Stacy. There's going to be something we're going to learn from Dree. Um, and that all happens during this whole engagement thing, So I would just say, if you can make it, even if you don't per se participate, but the simple fact that you're there, that's community. And that's, I'm your brother, you're my sister. I'm trying to make sure that she's all right. I want to make sure that Stacy's all right. I want to make sure that Dree is comfortable. Make sure Courtney's all right. He's on his journey. We're on this together, and that's really what we're trying to kind of create, that togetherness. Um, but I definitely appreciate you sharing that as far as the schedule. We're still working on that. I mean, of course, with us having trainers that are in Nairobi, Kenya. The times that they're going to train, they're going to be like noontime, Eastern Standard Time, just because they're like 8 hours ahead. So there's really no other way to do that. But the other trainers, the other three or four, the other three, is it 3 or 4? It's going to be kind of like a 6 p.m., 7 p.m., thinking that most people are going to be working throughout the day. You know, so no, I appreciate you breaking the ice with that feedback, Michi. Any, any anyone else? Just feel free to, yeah, just feel free. You don't have to. Um,
I can go. I definitely I enjoy the group. I enjoy the fellowship and the community of it. I am learning a lot. Um, Definitely the support and encouragement is amazing because it's gotten me where I am today. I know that I definitely need all day today. I kept on just hearing motivation, motivation, motivation. The motivation, like that's like one part of I think that I need to work on 100% is my motivation. Um, like I'm doing good in certain areas, but then, not in other areas. Um, and also the, we talk about the proteins and all the, I don't know nothing about nutritional value or even what to be looking for if I was to start looking at labels, and like the yogurt has so much grams of protein or whatever, and I don't understand any of that stuff, like reading labels, doing anything. Like Mai told me about the look at the label, and the first thing that's on the label should be what that product is,
Mhm.
but when it comes down to like the proteins and what I'm supposed to be intaking or stuff
Mhm.
like that, I don't know. So it'd be nice to learn a little bit more about on that aspect. But
Okay.
Well,
yeah,
Yeah, that's definitely um, an area that we are really going to focus on because it's confusing. And if you're haven't been looking at labels and you look at the front and it says natural this,
mhm.
gluten free that, good for you, and then it's like it's all marketing. There, it's meant to bypass you looking at what's in the ingredients or what's in the what's what's in content. So like let's say let me have an example to show you the difference between um, tomatoes. Okay, so over here I have a Hunt's traditional pasta sauce, right?
Mhm.
It looks, the picture looks nice. There's tomatoes. Like this is something you would pick up, right?
It's
So
in
what
my
do you
cupboard.
think? Yeah. So you would think it would just be tomatoes
Right.
and maybe some spices, right? So let's turn around and look at the label. Um, it's hard to see, so I'll read it to you guys. So the first ingredient is tomato puree. Great, that's excellent. And then you got water. Okay, that's fine. And then the third ingredient is high fructose corn syrup, sugar, natural flavors. What is natural flavors? So like, and then you look at and then you look, I go straight to the carbohydrate and see if there's added sugar. There's 2 grams of added sugar. Why do you need added sugar? Yeah, make your own. It's not that hard if you know how to do it. So there's a total 9 grams of carbohydrate, and the serving size is half a cup, which is decent. Um, but then if you look at this crushed tomatoes, what do you think is in here?
Well, it doesn't look as appealing as the other label.
Yeah, because it's just crushed tomatoes. So if you look at the ingredients, it's tomatoes. No added sugar, no fillers, no high fructose corn syrup. This is just
Okay.
pure tomatoes. And then if you look at the
So,
carbohydrate, it's 7 grams and there's no added sugar.
so
Go ahead, Courtney.
Stacy, so to answer your question, because we have we're going to be good on this, on that end, because she is pretty good at reading those labels and
Right.
understanding and helping with that. So that's going to directly address that, your
Yeah.
concern.
What is our ideal daily intake on the carbohydrates and the protein? Like what are you looking at like in a daily menu? Like
It all depends on what you're working towards. So if you're somebody who's an athlete, you would need more protein and more carbohydrate. But if you're just sustaining your day-to-day life, you don't need that much carbohydrate. Maybe 50 grams, 60 grams, 50 to 100 grams of like that's everything, including like fruits and vegetables and just stuff that there's fiber in natural occurring food.
okay.
For me, I do low carb, so I try to not eat anything with added sugar. Just if it's tomato sauce, I just want tomatoes and spices. And if it's salad or a steak, it's just seasoned with salt and pepper or something, and then a salad with that. So
And
I don't really measure how many carbs I take because I hate measuring. and it just doesn't work for me. But I can, if I'm doing this long enough, I know that, okay, this is fits into what I want to eat. And in terms of protein, I think Courtney would have a better
Well,
knowledge, or Michi, of how much protein you should be taking. You're a
I
protein
mean,
shake guy.
what I just did was I just Googled, how much carbs you should intake. And this is healthline.com, which is a pretty reputable source. And it says eating 100 to 150 grams per day is moderate intake of carbs. And then it breaks down what you can eat. And then it says eating 50 to 100 grams per day. This range may be beneficial if you want to lose weight. And then it kind of, so it kind of breaks down those
Okay.
things. So this is something that you can this information is pretty readily available to you. However, if it's something that you would like for us to get into whenever we're having a meeting like this, we can kind of get right into it, and we can break down proteins, and we can just spend some time on that, and we can break down carbs, and we can spend some time on that, because it's a lot of information. It's a lot of
Yeah.
information. And like Mai just said, she doesn't keep track of it that way. However, there's so many ways that you can do it. It's a matter of finding which is the best way for you, which way is going to work best for you. So we can definitely look into this. Then you also have to factor in, none of us we're not medical. We're not like, I was a certified nutrition consultant. I'm not actually, my certification has lapsed on that. So I really won't consult you per se, but it's to give you the best is to really consult your medical team to basically say, okay, what is a healthy regimen for me? Let them know that you're trying to, whatever it is you're trying to do, if you're trying to tone, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to build muscle, if you're trying to, whatever, and then kind of go about it that way, get their get their input, and make sure that this is something that you can do.
Yeah.
And then there's some people that are eating several times a day, and then there's other people that eat less time. There's some people that fast and eat less meals. So there's so many different ways. What I always say though is, if you're doing something and if it's not exactly working, then it's probably a good idea to maybe try a different approach, and then see if that approach works for you.
Yeah.
So
So if I may add, it's good to get a baseline measurement. So go to your doctor and ask for a complete physical, like get your blood work done. Where are you with cholesterol? Where are you at your sugar? You're at 1AC. Where are you at? Just like get a complete blood work, so that this is data that you can use for like next year when you go back and get blood work done and see where if you've improved since you made the changes. And then I like that way, because then it's medical. I mean, it's what do you call it, official, and then you can just look back and see, that's one point of data, and then you have anecdotal. I can't say
anecdotal
anecdotal data of like if you doing your own measurements based on how many steps you take or how you
Yeah.
feel. Just
Yep.
it's not just one measurement, not just the
Yes.
scale or your weight or whatever. It's just when you look at the complete picture, how have you progressed? And there are days it's going to go up and down like this, but we want the trend to go this way of you
And
getting better.
and your sleep factors into it, your water factors into it. Like Ma was saying, there's like so many factors. I mean, it's kind of to me, it's kind of fun, because it's like there's so many things that are happening that you kind of have to hone in on. You know what I mean? And it's like for me, sleep. It's like, okay, I got to get my sleep under control. Because you'll get to a place where your body will plateau if you're not sleeping correctly. It'll just happen. Not to mention you won't feel well. Your energy won't be as high, that kind of stuff. So But Dree, do you have anything, Dree? Any questions or any feedback?
I don't feel like I'm losing or gaining weight. I think I'm a little frustrated. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
So when you say you don't feel
Maybe.
like you are, when you say you
Yeah.
don't
Well,
feel,
my scale is broken.
your scale's what? I'm sorry.
My scale is broken. Like it has like one. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a little
Can you hear
bit.
me? Sorry,
Yeah, I can hear
I
you.
don't know. My internet's acting up. Can you hear me? Okay.
So your scale's not working. Did you start with a baseline? Did you start with any baseline measurements?
Oh, I see. My scale. So it has some knobs.
Your signal. Now your signal.
Yes, I wrote them down. I can't find them, but I did put on the Facebook group.
Your
Sorry, I
signal.
don't know. My internet. That's bad. I'm sorry, you guys.
It's all right. Maybe my internet signal's bad. Maybe log out and then maybe log back in. That might work. I think I could hear what you were. I think I heard what you said. I think she was saying her scale. She doesn't have a way of tracking. But that might be a concern. This is the reason why it's a good idea to do measurements and weigh yourself, because the body will change in different ways. Maybe not always on the scale. Sometimes you might lose inches here and there.
She did say that she was frustrated. She's not seeing results like she wanted. So she's having frustration.
Right.
Yeah.
But my question is how are you?
Is it working?
Yeah. Did you take measurements? That was what I was trying to find out. Did you take body measurements?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And
I put them on the Facebook.
Okay. I do remember that. Now that you say that, I do remember you putting your measurements on there. Are you seeing did you see any change in your measurements? Okay. It's all right. You can just message them out. I can go ahead and mute your line, Dree, if you can hear me.
I'm not sure. I have to check. I just got.
I'll measure again tonight and let you all know. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's only got on the scale. Okay. So yeah, that's one of those things that take multiple measures, and then from there we can take a closer look at your diet, because you've pretty much participated in pretty much every exercise class. So you're doing that, and you're doing a squat challenge, and you're doing steps. So we should look at your sleep, and you're drinking water, and then you're doing the water challenge as well. So maybe type in the notes, are you getting 7? At least I would probably say 7 hours of sleep is a good amount of sleep for most women. I think it's 7 for women. I think it's 8 for men. Terrible sleep habits. So that's something we want to work on, because that could be 4 hours maybe. Yeah. How long have you been doing for, like, has that been a long time doing like that amount of sleep? Okay. Yeah, that's a very important one. And I know Maya's eating right now. But she probably gets more sleep than all of us maybe put together. I don't want to stop you from eating.
I do take a nap every day, an hour or 2. Because I wake up early I do my stuff, and then
You
by
do.
lunchtime, I get tired, so I rest. I get my
That's
shut
great.
eye, and then I wake up and I just work again, and then I go to
It's
bed. And like, I don't get that. I mean, I get about maybe 5 or 6 hours at night. I'm addicted to my phone. So it's scrolling the Instagram or playing my games. Or sometimes I do, a lot of times I wake up early and I edit videos and make content to share on my Instagram and stuff. But definitely got to work on the phone addiction, the scrolling, the social media things that I just do it automatically, and it's something I know that I
oh
need
that's
to do less of, but it's just I don't know. I'm working on it, and
that's
it's not there yet.
that's probably one of my, and I appreciate you sharing that and just being fully transparent. That's probably one that we all can, you know what I mean? And that's why, believe it or not, ladies, whenever we did our first weekend, and I said, and I was like, let's just rest and relax and let's disconnect. And it felt so good for myself because it's like it's a part of health. It's a part of wellness. Believe it or not. I mean, it's nice that we're inspiring people, but we have to rest and recover. We have to do it. And it's I'm glad you brought that up because it's something that you kind of have to fight. You have to you have to be vigilant about it and say, you know what, this is my health, and I want to help people, but in order for me to help people, I need to be optimally healthy, you know. So I'm glad that you brought that up because that's something that's one of my resolutions, the sleep and then just being able to disconnect, you know. So definitely appreciate you sharing that. But yeah, Dree, I would even say you know, my feedback would be if you're doing 4 hours of sleep, try to give yourself, make a commitment and let that be a part of your challenge as well. Because I think you're doing the moving. You're doing the moving. You're moving. You're moving all over the place. So challenge yourself and say, you know what? I'm gonna give myself another hour of sleep. And maybe you don't go from 4 to 7, because that's a big jump. It might be hard for you to arrange that in your schedule the way that it is. But say that's what I did. I said I'm gonna give myself an hour, and I was basically doing like 5 or 6 hours. So I basically said I'm gonna give myself 7 hours of sleep. I gave myself 1 hour, So I challenge you to give yourself 1 hour, and I would like for you to start to do that tonight if you can tonight, you know. So that might mean you might have to do a couple other things and get some other things in order. But try to give yourself that hour for the next few days, and then we can report back and then see how you feel, if you notice a difference, so on and so forth. Kind of get that out of your system.
I also want to
So
know what your sleep environment is like. Is it conducive to rest? Are there a lot of lights, a lot of noise, or is it like a place where you can go and rest and shut down? Like your environment has a lot to do with how the quality of sleep that you get. So that's what I want to know. How your environment is set up for good sleep. Do you have like a blackout curtains? Do you have, can you shut your door, or are your kids going in and out? I don't know.
and
Does your
also
kids
too,
sleep in the same bed as you? My kids sleep with me, but they're good sleepers.
yeah, my Issa sleeps in her own bed, but she comes in often, and she's she will be under she will come underneath me like she's a little like I'm the piggy and she's the baby piggy. She'll come underneath me. So I know when she gets in the bed, it ain't good sleep, even though I'm asleep. But I know it's not good sleep because when I wake up, I'm like this. So I know it ain't no good sleep, even though I was slept. And she probably kicked me all upside my head all night, and I won't wake up. I won't. I guess I'm a hard sleeper, but it ain't good sleep that way. It's just not. Pat, I see you have your hand up. Dree's in the comments. What did she say here? My 3-year-old wakes up multiple times lately in some stress. That's a tough one to get around. that's a hard one. Your 3-year-old's waking up. So, I mean, I can kind of speak to that a little bit because I have a 3-year-old. So, when I'm outside, I do some running. I try to get her to run as much as possible. And then I don't know. It's that's a tough one. My 3-year-old, she likes to stay up. She likes to stay up pretty late, and she takes. Dre, I wonder, does your 3-year-old take naps? That's another question. Mine really doesn't. Maybe once or twice a week she will.
She has
So
FOMO. She doesn't want to miss out.
she does. She definitely doesn't want. Yeah, hers either. No naps. So that's actually
Ours have FOMO as well.
Yeah. So that's so we would have to address that, because that's probably why you're getting 4 hours of sleep, because of that break in there like that. Well, babe, what are some things that we do to help Issa to get a good night of sleep? Just let her stay up as late as possible. So
Well, that's part of it. I think the other part of it too is, trying to pinpoint what is you put the fear of missing out. So also one of the things that I've noticed is how late are we allowing her to play on her electronics. She has a little tablet, so there's games there. I tend to realize Issa gets overstimulated, and I think that overstimulation causes that restlessness and that fight against sleep. So some of the things that we have to do as parents is obviously just kind of help them to calm down. And that could be maybe an hour or two before bedtime, start to shut down the electronics. I know for myself, if I even look at my phone at 1 a.m, I'm done. As soon as that blue light hit my eyeballs, it disrupts my sleep cycle. So if that happens to me as an adult, I'm sure it happens to the children as well. And so we all need a wind down time. And some advice my sister-in-law kind of gave me recently at a moment of frustration with Issa's lack of sleep was, what time do you guys give her baths? She generally gets her baths in the daytime, but what I noticed is if I give her a bath in the afternoon and rub her down with, body lotion, those eyelids will start, she struggles to keep them eyes open. So I give her a full, even changing, and that's something that I shared with Courtney. I said, immediately, we need to start, changing her bath time, give her bath in the evenings and give her a full body massage, with the lotion, and after that, she's done. And so I know when Mr. Jacobs rubbed my piggies, I'm done. So, I think, changing them and helping them to regulate is going to be so much more beneficial for us, because they are excited about every waking moment, because they're in exploration mode all day long. So anything that we can do to help them self-regulate is going to help us get the proper sleep, proper nutrition, and so forth and so on. So with that, I would like to segue into my area of struggle. Many of you probably may or may not even pay attention to the fact that I am not able to post a lot Monday. Able to post on the weekend as well. What I have been trying to be conscientious about, believe it or not, is wearing pants to work so that I can put my cell phone in my back pocket and track my steps. But that's not always possible for me. And then also, being conscientious that when I get up from my desk to grab I have two phones. I have a work phone and I have my personal phone. So my personal phone is my track stepper, my health, I have the health app activated on my personal phone, but 9 times out of 10, my to, focused on my health at this point in time. And a lot of it is due to my job. Sometimes I'm stuck at my desk all day, just doing, just trying to push through the day and to make sure everyone else is okay at work. And then when I come home, I literally have nothing left to give, even to myself, let alone sometimes to my, my daughter and family members. So I'm just really trying to, find the balance. I don't know if anybody else out there struggling with, work and life and finding the balance, and can offer up some, tricks and tips that you guys are, have put into place that's working for yourself.
So in terms of tracking your steps, have you thought about wearing a wearable device? Because I know that some of my clothes don't have any pockets, and that's very frustrating. And so, but I have this on all day long so that whatever movement I make, it tracks it, and so that I'm getting the whole picture, not only when I remember to have my phone. So, and then it's kind of cool because it beeps or it has a buzz when you reach your goal. And so, and it's just right at the at your wrist, and you can easily tell how much activity you've done or how much more you need. So I would highly recommend like a Fitbit or some kind of watch or a pedometer kind of thing, because as women, our clothes don't have pockets like, Courtney has pockets everywhere, multiple pockets in his pants and, stuff. So yeah, I would do a wearable device. And then in terms of having your job, having your environment set up so that you can do more movement, is, can you take breaks? Like, can you take the long way to go to get your drink or fill up your water? Can you go upstairs, take the long way, park farther, take multiple trips to the supply room, or instead of like messaging a staff, walk over to them, or just like little things like that might add up, or standing up at your desk, like while you're on the phone and just like moving a little bit. Like anything that you can do sitting, can you do it standing up with movement or whatever, like just those little things. That's what I share.
Okay, there's everyone. Yeah, my good points. I definitely have had Fitbits and iPhone, Apple Watches, and kind of shied away from all of that. But that's something that I can definitely implement. That will most definitely help me track my steps. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I was going to say something about like with balance and everything. I know that I have older kids, so they're 19 and 17, and I have a 14-year-old stepson. And I just posted a video with the family night. Like, we're trying to implement of doing a family game night, like a couple times a month or once a month or whatever, just to keep the family unit still together. I'm also in the process of like church and stuff. So like Sundays, that's my day. That's my rest day. Like, I just know that that's rest. I ain't doing anything on that day. But like the family implementing is really important, I think.
Awesome. Awesome
Yes.
feedback.
Thank you, Stacy. Great,
Yeah.
great advice.
Okay. Alette joined us, and go. Well, Alette, we've talked about a number of things, but what is something? If you have a question or if you have any feedback on what's working or any suggestions, feel free to share it.
Hey, you guys. So it's Alita. I caught the part about
Alita, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Sorry
You're
about
fine.
that.
I'm used to. You're fine. You're good.
Alita.
So about the
Okay.
a part about when she was saying in reference to her working at a job and having two phones. I get that. So I'm about to order me a Fitbit to the young lady who just mentioned that. So I'm about to order that for myself as well. But my thing was for me, I know you guys seen I posted in the group at one point. I was saying I'm trying to add I'm not carbs, vegetables to every single meal. And somebody
Mhm.
suggested salads. Well, my problem also is that for right now, like I've been doing the mashed potatoes, cauliflower. But even if I eat like carbs of any sort, great or small, or even if I eat like cauliflower and I still mentally tell myself it's mashed potatoes, I have this mental thing where it's like it makes me feel like I'm not doing good enough or I need to find a way to do better. So any suggestions on how to better minimize my carb intake or like what's a good enough amount to eat where it's not like overdoing it for me to lose weight?
Okay, I can speak to that. How much carbs do you think you're eating? Just like an estimate of,
It varies. Some days it's like 2 servings a day. Some days it's more than that. It's probably, I know it's more than my vegetables for sure.
okay. So is there something that you can easily incorporate into to get your, I guess like something with more fiber to help you get that fullness? And if you
Okay.
add, so let's say more a cucumber, it has a lot of water and it's low in carb and it's has that crunch factor. So like lots of green vegetable like zucchini, add that. So we made zucchini pizza the other night, and it's an alternative to the regular flour pizza, but it it's satisfying because you're getting that flavor, that whatever you put on top, the cheese, the
Okay.
pepperoni, the stuff like, and then use, instead of the pizza flour, you use the cauliflower as a base, and that's gonna
Oh, okay.
uptake, I mean, increase your vegetable immediately. And then I know that Courtney can attest to the taste of it. I think like your the food is motivated, or how you perceive food is motivated by the sense of smell. So if it smells and looks appetizing, I think it's gonna satisfy you.
Okay. I'll definitely try that out.
And then I have other suggestions. So if you like, let me know how I can help you. Just I can help you. Just ask it in the Facebook group, or like post a meal and ask me, like, or ask us, what can we add to this to make it more filling, or instead of using this ingredient, what else can I use?
Okay, I can do that then. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I apologize. My internet signal was acting really fuzzy there. I had to like switch to a different network. But I'm sure my answers your question very well. So, does anyone else have any other questions or any? It seems like most of the questions were related to the food, so we definitely need to, you know, spend more time on food and specifically protein, carbs, fats, and really breaking those things down and really looking at, I guess it's fair to say that most of, I shouldn't make a generalization, but there's different categories of, if you're generally healthy and if you're trying to lose weight, um, they have how many grams of proteins, carbs, fats you should have. If you're trying to maintain your weight and if you're generally healthy, then they have it broken down for that. And so we can certainly spend more time on those things if that's something that is, you know, very important to everyone.
I didn't hear anything on motivation. Like, how can you increase your motivation? How can you get to that point where it becomes a habit of what you're doing? You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, that's a really good question. It sounds like you're saying motivation. It sounds like you're saying a habit.
well, like I want to be able to have a daily routine of exercise, doing something, you know, and I didn't know the
Sure.
squat challenge. I didn't know about it.
Mhm.
And but yeah, like a daily routine, because then I feel guilty because I didn't do anything.
Yeah. Well, so as it relates to something daily, it's so first and foremost, you want to look at like where are you at physically? Because I mean, there are things that you can do daily. I have this is something that I was going to use. I haven't introduced it yet, but let's see if I can find it. My daughter likes to play with it. Gosh, she has a lot of things over here. But it's a dice. It's a dice that has different exercises on it, right? So it's something that you can do. I can't find it, but basically, you can do basic calisthenics. Here it is, right here.
What is
I just
calisthenics?
That's like push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks, just your basic things that you're going to use your own body weight for.
Okay.
So this is what I was looking for right here. So this is I wanted to introduce this to our
That's pretty
community.
cool.
And you can get this right from Five Below. But
Okay.
but you can see here, well, that one says water break. I don't know how it looks on your end.
Yeah, it's clear.
Is it clear? Okay.
Yeah, it's
And this one
right
says,
up and everything.
what does that say? 10 sumo squats? Is it, or is
Yes.
it backwards? Okay. 25 or 52, whatever.
25 sit-ups.
25 sit-ups. So these are all things you can incline push-ups. So I mean, I wanted to introduce something like this. So we're doing something 10 hip raises. It doesn't have to be anything intense. So when you think about something daily, you want it to be something that like you said, it's going to make you feel like you're still moving.
Yeah.
So our two exercise classes, those are really, they should be probably a little bit more intense than like this. So something daily could just be like 100 jumping jacks. And you can do that throughout the whole day. You can do like 20 at a time, 5 times a day.
Right.
You can do sit-ups and stuff. So we can do abs, you know, 25 ab bicycles. So I can kind of show you what that looks like. And that's something that, you know, I thought we could do. I kind of wanted us to kind of get through the exercise classes first. And then I was going to introduce something like this. It's just something like very random to where I could just roll this dice, and wherever it lands, we do this exercise. And then we check in with each other. Did you do your 10 hip raises? You know?
Yeah. I need
so-
accountability. Like I have
Okay.
to have accountability. Like it's definitely, I have to, accountability and structure is like two of my things that I work really well with. It's just, I don't know. It's just how I learn, how I go about, I'm kind of orderly in fashion. So
would you like something? So this is something.
oh
like
yeah,
this
that would
work
be
well?
amazing. Yeah.
Okay. And then it might also work for somebody like me, Michi. Now I'm hesitating because I'm like, I was mispronouncing Aletta. I think I was mispronouncing her name, so now I'm hesitating to say other people's name. I'm like, Michi, is it Michi?
Yes, you're pronouncing my name correct. And Stacy,
Okay.
I am an orderly person as well. So I have a very structured routine as well. And I do the same thing every morning.
Mhm.
So maybe you need to create whenever it's best for you. If
Right.
you're an evening person or an afternoon or a morning, create a morning routine. So I have my hour of power, I call it. That's my prayer meditation time. And then I have my hour of physical practice. So whether that's yoga, whether I'm doing a HIIT workout, a hula workout, whatever it is I'm doing, that's for that hour. So the first
Okay.
2 hours of my day, that's what I'm doing, is my mental and physical practices. And then
Okay.
Now,
everything else goes from there.
Now Now Michi's at a level to where it sounds like she's very comfortable doing that on her own.
Yeah.
You know, so she's worked to being accountable to herself.
Yes.
Some people can do that. Other people, it's nice for them to have other people that can check in with them.
Come alongside
so we roll this dice, and then I say, okay, you got to do 10 jumping jacks 3 times a day, and I want you to check in.
Right, and I would do that.
Right, you can record yourself doing the jumping jacks. Boom,
right.
boom, boom. You know, and so for some people, for many people, that is the accountability that they need. You know, so
and eventually, I think that the accountability, as you grow in getting that structure back in and the discipline and stuff, it would just come naturally eventually. But
I had a client.
Accountability.
I had a client that taught me this lesson, and then Kim, you can go next. But I had a client that taught me a lesson. Kim was like, "Go next on what? What am I going next on?" Well, hey, you got your whole setup in the background. It looked like you ready to do the Kim Jacobs show. So I'm expecting you to just go ahead and be ready, because this is how you roll every day. So, but what was I saying? I completely lost my thought. No, I had a client that told me once before. I used to meet him, and we used to do personal training. And we used to buy cars from him and his family. They had a car dealerships, multiple dealerships. And he was like, "Courtney, you know what? I pay you." This is when I was a personal trainer, his personal trainer. And he said, "I pay you." He said, "I don't pay you because you're teaching me anything that I don't know." He says, "I'm actually paying you because I know you're going to be here at 6 a.m. You're going to be at this YMCA."
Right.
And I'll never forget that, because that taught me a lesson that most people actually know what to do. I mean, you would just ask about carbs 10 minutes ago. I just Googled it, and I could just tell you exactly what to do. Like, information is readily available, but many people, they obviously need more than that. They need somebody that's going to do it with them, come along with them, make it fun, that kind of thing. So I didn't institute this yet, because I was just kind of like, well, I don't know what everybody's used to doing. So right now we're doing 2 workouts a week. You know, for some people that might be a lot more than what they were doing. So I wasn't going to like throw this in there, because then y'all would be like, this boy is crazy. He's doing all this stuff every day. And, but this is not really that hard. I mean, 25 sit-ups, that's about as hard as you're going to get. 30-second plank. Like, every one of us can do this stuff. You guys are all strong enough to do this stuff, but we can do this throughout the day. Just roll the dice, and it just gives you something different to do. So we can definitely implement something like that. So Kim, really all we were doing is we were just really getting feedback, any questions that you might have, or any suggestions, or anything that's working well, or something you'd like to see us offer, and really just have a chance to just have a moment to come together and talk about it. A lot of people have talked about food and how to count your carbs, your proteins, and reading labels and stuff like that. That's been a lot of what most people have talked about so far.
Okay. Well, first of all, I love the program, and I think that you're doing an excellent job, and you're a true example of what you're preaching. You're actually living it. You've lost so much weight yourself already, and you did it non-surgically based. Not that anything's wrong with surgery, but the fact that you've had this be a part of your life and a part of your lifestyle for so long, I think is just incredibly encouraging. From the perspective that I think that I can provide in this situation, I don't know if you all know, I host a show called The Kim Jacobs Show, and it's a YouTube-based show, and then it's also across 8 other platforms. And on the show, I bring guests in to talk about how they balance different aspects of their lives. So there is some type of piece of that puzzle that may be missing in somebody else's life. When you watch my show, then you're able to get that information and walk away with it. But I've written a book called Extreme Balance Makeover. And in that book, and in the second book that I'm writing right now, I'm talking about how important it is to be able to prioritize our day and make sure, is that what the kind of stuff you want me to talk about, Courtney, like that?
Sure.
I don't know. Okay, yeah, tell me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can talk about that, because I think it's important for us to get the things that we know we have to get done in a given day, get them done at the beginning of the day, versus knowing that anything can happen. From my perspective, I'm big on always saying, Lord, let your will be done in my life. So if there are things that come up in a given day that I just cannot get to every single thing. So what I have to do is push some things over to the next day automatically. And those things are things that have less importance. and I prioritize and make sure that I get the maximum amount of time out of my day by doing the things that are what I would consider the most important. And my philosophy in life is that I just believe that we're all put on this earth for a specific reason. And each of us have our own gifts and talents that God has blessed us with, or whomever it is that you serve, that you're blessed with. And I am going to leave no stone unturned. So whatever gifts and talents lie inside of me, they're not going to their grave with me. I am going to use every single gift and every single talent. So you have to assess where you currently maybe utilizing your time and it's time wasters. Maybe you need to DVR some shows. That's what I'm only telling you stuff I've had to do. Maybe DVR and some shoes. I mean, shoes. I didn't get the shoes. I don't even have no shoes on.
Dree said she loves that, Kim. She was having some technical difficulties, so she's in the chat, but she said she loves that.
Well, and anything I can do to help anybody, I'd be honored to do that. I have some coaching services and things, but I think that prioritizing and looking at where we currently, like minute to minute, not just some free willy situation, but getting like a composite notebook and writing down where we literally spend our time every single day. For a whole week, and identify what we're doing with that time. Then we can go back and start to fill in and say, okay, you know what? This is a time waster. Okay, I'm sitting here talking to this person about this person. This is a mess. I spent 20 whole minutes of my day. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. So anyway, I don't want to do a whole seminar because I'm in the process of writing the manuscript for the second book, Balancing Life God's Way, and not just the Extreme Balance Makeover piece that I've already done. So I have a lot of different tips I can share. But at the end of the day, don't let your gifts and your dreams go to the grave with you. And Les Brown says that I don't want my gifts to go to the grave with me. I want to live full and die empty. And that's what I believe in doing.
Well, first of all, and I was going to just say, first of all, I'm happy that you took that approach, because I do. One of the things that we talked about at the very beginning of the call that we want to do with this call is to build a community of support. So it's like we're technically brother and sister, but Stacy's my sister, Ma's my sister, Michi, and this community becomes they're your sisters too, because they're supporting you, they're here, and we all want to help each other to get to our goals, to be optimally well and to thrive and not just survive.
And your aunties too. My is an auntie over there, because I actually provided my one son with some cauliflower stuff thanks to Mai today. And he was like, you can get that for me all the time now, Mom. So thank you, Auntie Mai.
Yeah.
That's so good. I love hearing that.
Yeah. So, and that's what we want to happen. And we want you guys to organically connect with each other, because, you're intrinsically wanting to create better health for yourself, and then you're naturally wanting each and every one of us to win as well. So I mean, you hit a number of points. We talked about sleep, and when you said prioritizing that, that made me think about sleep. It also made me think about she did a post here the other day, and she was like, share what's in your refrigerator. You know what I mean? And it's like getting to that place where it's like, everybody's going to be at different places. You know what I mean? And we talked about that too. Like with Michi, she does her own workouts every day. She's at a place where that's where she can do. Everybody might not be at that point. So like you said, Kim, it doesn't matter where someone else is. Where am I? And being extremely honest with yourself and saying, this is where I am. And the feedback that I gave to Dree was, she said she's getting 4 hours of sleep. I said, try to just add 1 hour, because that's what I did. I didn't say I'm going to try to add 3 hours, because my schedule right now is such that I'm getting what I'm getting. So if I can just give myself 1 extra hour, and just approach it that way, step by step, as opposed to trying to just eat an elephant in one bite, So no, I definitely appreciate you sharing that. And I think this has been a great call. Is there anyone else that has any other feedback? I need some squat motivation from Dree. How many squats are you guys doing right now?
Is it 80?
It's adding.
It's 80 today, right?
It's 80. It's 80 squats.
I thought it was still rest day. Thanks. Hey, Dree, we can go live together and do it together.
if you guys do it live together, I'll probably jump in there and do it too, just because you guys are doing it together, and I'll be supportive.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it live later after we get off this call.
Oh, she was like, right now.
Right now.
You said you was gonna do it, so she's like, now I got at least 3. I get at least 3 of us. But we're gonna plan to do this. It'll probably be mostly like on Thursdays, and it doesn't always have to be like if you have questions or suggestions or something like that, you can send those early as well, and we can still talk about them. But it sounds like for the most part, we're all the same. Everybody's pretty much saying the same thing, so we're all in the same, the same speed. Does anyone else have anything else that's pressing that they want to share or ask? Or if not, we're going to get ready. We're going to just close out tomorrow. We do have our cooking with Mai. You want to say anything, Mai?
Yeah, I hope you guys come. We're making spinach pancakes. So I have my ingredients. I'm about to post it and talk about it. So yeah, I got my bag of frozen spinach. So you can use fresh ones or frozen ones. I know that Courtney has a giant bag in his fridge, what I saw yesterday.
So I got my almond flour. I'm gonna use coconut milk instead of almond milk because that's what I have. Flaxseed meal. So it's a breakfast for dinner type of meal. So you can make an egg or sausages or whatever, or eat it as is because it's a savory pancake, or you can eat it sweet. And I will also want to share the syrup that I use. She said, what kind of what was the question? What kind of flour if you're allergic to almond?
I will have to research that. Who's allergic?
Kim was.
Kim. Okay. There's another recipe that uses spinach but doesn't use flour. Use bananas. I can share that.
Okay.
So yeah, please let me know if you're allergic to anything. I don't want to, make you sick.
Have a reaction.
Yeah. So there's a couple of recipes we can share, and variety, and being able to cook using different ingredients is important to keep your interest, so that you want to eat the healthy stuff. So yeah, so this is the syrup. This is the zero. I guess this is so this is Lakanto maple flavor syrup, and it says 9 grams of total carbs, but 3 of which is fiber. And then there's sugar alcohol, which is 5 grams. So essentially you subtract the fiber and the sugar alcohol. So it's 1 gram of net carb for 2 tablespoons. I'm not sure what the regular syrup is, but I assure you it's not 1 gram of net carb per serving. So
did you get this at Walmart or?
This is they sell it a variety of places. I think I got it on Amazon, but you can get it at, there's other brands too. There's Talk Zero. They have this is a chocolate syrup. There's Suncran Gold. So if you just Google sugar-free syrup or keto syrup or whatever, there will be a bunch that comes up. But yeah, I do want to start sharing the products that I use, and if anybody wants to get off the sugar and find a better alternative.
Okay, awesome. And that'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. And then on Wednesday we'll have Rumbosa Dance at noon. Instead of 1 p.m. it'll be noon Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday and Thursday, because we had some technical things going on today. So outside of that, guys, awesome call. Mai, I'm so happy that you suggested this. I know it was last minute, but this was actually pretty cool, I thought, just to get a chance to talk with everybody and stuff like that. So thank you all.
I think it makes a big difference, just having this space time and talking, because sometimes you can't convey the emotion or the feelings in a post is just not the same. So when you can talk to each other, see each other's expression, and just ask questions spontaneously and feedback, it's so valuable and helpful. And thank you for sharing and being honest. And we love having you in Courtney.
Awesome. Well, you guys all have a fantastic evening, and hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow evening.
Okay. Bye.
Peace.
Good night.
Be well.
Bye-bye, everybody.